gameplay, the graphics, the sound, the characters. None of these on their own will make a game perfect, but a combination of all these things will indeed do just that. Games like Grand Theft Auto 5, Super Mario Bros. 3, and Ocarina of Time are just 3 examples of a perfect game doesn't come along that much. When it does, you know it, and when it hits you, you're floored. Today's example is one of those games. Today we're going to take a look at Shovel Knight, released in 2014 by Yacht Club Games. Shovel Knight is a 2D side-scrolling action platformer that you would totally mistake for being one of the original NES games had you not known this was released in 2014. And not that it copies from any original NES titles like Mega Man, DuckTales, or Ninja Gaiden, it just takes the best parts of those games and mixes it all into one hybrid mess of a great game. The music in this game is simply phenomenal. I have gone back and played the first level so many times just to hear that track that it's ridiculous. I love the music in this game and I cannot emphasize enough how much love I have for it. If the main quest in Shovel Knight isn't enough to keep your palate full, then there are definitely side quests in this game to progress through collecting treasures, defeating enemies, finding chests, and digging through the environment. Finding note sheets also unlock music tracks in the game, which was a big plus for me. Obviously, your main source of attack weapon in this game is your shovel. You can use your shovel to defeat enemies head on, or you can use your shovel to hop on enemies' heads and defeat them a la DuckTales or Zelda 2 The Adventures of Link. This gameplay mechanic is extremely addictive, just as it was in DuckTales 1 and 2. And in Mega Man Tribute, no doubt, there are different power upgrades you can obtain along the way, like a shield that makes you invincible for a short period of time, the Dust Knuckles, which make you fly through the air depending on how many enemies you defeat, the Flying Sword, which is probably my favorite. The other obvious nod to Mega Man are the 9 Knight bosses, each differing, having their own style and their own gimmick to them. The 9 Knights in this game I love the design of. They're Black Knight, Spectre Knight, King Knight, Treasure Knight, Plague Knight, Mold Knight, Polar Knight, Tinker Knight, Propeller Knight, and the Enchantress. There are towns you can visit as well for armor and health upgrades, along as purchasing the notes you've collected in each level. The story of Shovel Knight is a classic tale of vengeance. Shovel Knight's love, Shield Knight, is killed with him on a final mission, and Shovel Knight must set out to avenge her death. Usually this is overdone in most games, but is done lightly here with the addition of dream sequences in between levels where he must catch a falling Shield Knight to save her. It's done very well. The gameplay in Shovel Knight, as I'm sure you've heard by now, is spot on. It is tight, responsive, and reminds me of the old school classics we all grew up with. If you've mastered Shovel Knight though, have no fear. The Plague Knight DLC was just released recently and offers a whole new take on Shovel Knight from the perspective of Plague Knight. The recent amiibo release for Shovel Knight is one of the best crafted amiibos I've ever seen, and the demand for this amiibo is through the roof. For this review, I only have the Wii U version, so that's the version I went with, although Shovel Knight has been released on practically everything known to man. The bottom line, 2014 saw a plethora of great games. 2015 was no different, but in those 2 years, one of my top 3 favorite, if not my favorite release, was by a little known developer, Yacht Club Games, Shovel Knight. So that's it, another perfect game, at least in my opinion. Tell me what you guys thought. Is this a perfect game to you in the comments down below? You have no excuse not to go out and pick up this game immediately if you haven't done so already. For vets of the game, you know what it's all about. Shovel Knight is the best.
Hey, what is going on here?